Hi everyone, this is Amy Karalik, and I'm going to chat with you about my assignment number 4. It's my reflection on learning for PIDP 3351 at Vancouver Community College. As the final assignment for PIDP 3351, we are required to submit a reflection on our learning experiences in this course. I'll go through each assignment and the main takeaways from each learning experience in chronological order using the notes I took after each assignment at the time that I submitted them. It's mentioned that the intention of this reflection of learning is supposed to be encouraging to others, but I think mine is fairly critical in nature, so it might not be as encouraging as one would like. However, it is a true and honest reflection of my learning process here in this course. So starting with assignment number 1, learner's mindset. As I reflected on the assignment, I decided that I'm going to try to use some better lighting in my videos. It was pretty dark in the video and no one could see my little pom-pom of hair at the top of my head, so I looked bald. Not that being bald is a bad thing, I just am not bald at this point in time. I might also actually not want to do videos really late at night, so I don't look absolutely dead-bagged in my videos. I did find that it irks me about what shows behind me when I'm at my computer on video, as my office space is it's a multi-purpose office and studio space, and I should just probably own the chaos because that's literally how I work. But I suspect though that people will be snooping my background during my videos because I know that I snoop and totally judge others on their backgrounds. I may or may not use the videos that the materials I created in this particular assignment in real life, as I'm not certain how my audiences would receive it. So I might end up sampling it out to a select group of students and see how it lands on them before I touch any of the materials that I created within this assignment. I found that I didn't like this assignment, and that kind of goes for all of the assignments in this course because there weren't any real metrics to follow, and I find that I really need the metrics in order to know if I'm doing things right. I pay a lot of money for these courses, and I really want to ensure that I'm doing what needs to be done in order to get the grades that I'm striving for. I'm a honor roll student, and if I don't get honor roll or an A or at least a high B, I'm gonna be upset, and I don't like that. And considering that I'm spending a lot of money for these courses and I have a particular outcome in mind, I really want to know how to meet the expectations in order to get that. So I found this assignment and any other ones in this particular one to be quite challenging. I also found that I struggled using the word feed forward in a sentence like we do with the phrase feedback, which I found interesting. I did find that the word feed forward, that I had to explain the concept more to tell people what I'm looking for, which is basically feedback in a positively constructive manner, which is how feedback should generally be if you want someone to listen to it. For this assignment also, I found that I didn't get a lot of usable feedback and feed forward, speaking of feed forward, to apply to my practice as I'm moving forward. I find that it makes a challenge to improve my content, and that radio silence that I get when I put my content out there can be misconstrued in many different ways. And of course, I leap to the worst assumptions of myself because nobody's responding or looking at my content. I did also reach out to my people on LinkedIn to see if anybody would be interested in giving me some feedback there as well, but I got absolutely zero feedback or feed forward from them as well. So it's kind of upsetting when you put your content out in the void and then there's radio silence. So hopping into my assignment number 2, which is the assessment of for and as learning, I found with that assignment, I ensured I had better lighting and I tried to have less visual clutter in the background. I'm actually having my computer cronked a little bit so that you can see a better view instead of what you would be seeing if I was facing this direction. I think it looks a lot better, so I should really work on making a less cluttery background or workspace, but it's hilarious to me because I clearly work in chaos, and the only time that things are really ever clean looking is when I'm packing up for the day or literally not working, so there's got to be a bit of a balance should I continue to do videos. I notice that I say a lot of ums and ahs when I'm trying to explain things on my videos if I'm not referring to a script like I'm doing right now, which is something I could work on. But I did find that on my second assignment, it only took me 2 takes to record what I wanted to record instead of the 22 takes from assignment number 1. So I will say that I did better on this version quicker than the assignment number 1. Assignment number 2, also my headset jack stopped working. And then my husband came downstairs and made a big bunch of racket while I was filming. So there was excessive noise that wasn't part of my original plan. I hate doing videos because I don't have peace and quiet in my home to do recordings, and I do my schooling in the evenings and on the weekends when everybody's home. So I have to time my videos for when my family isn't around or when everybody's asleep. And, I talked about that in my assignment number 1, where I looked absolutely dead bagged. Well, it's because I'm waiting for my family to go to bed so that I can have some quiet. It doesn't make good quality professional style videos that I can use elsewhere. So doing these videos are incredibly frustrating for me because I am not doing it at my leisure when, it's the best. I did consider whether or not I would use the materials from this assignment number 2 in real life. And again, it really depends on the students that I have at the time. I might just do a brief overview of the different types of assessments. My current role in life right now is I'm more of a manager than an instructor at this particular time, though I am teaching my teachers. So I could use these possibly in a modified way in my performance evaluations, as opposed to actually trying them on actual students. I did find that I did references and I had lots of resources, but then I didn't put them in the infographic that I created for assignment number 2. And I do struggle with actually putting in my references in infographics in a meaningful and attractive way, because the whole point of having infographics is to have info and graphics. So APA style references don't really lend themselves very well to this format. And so I would like to see in the education realm, because we've adopted the use of infographics, I would like to see people using links and references in a different format instead of going and using the APA style. But, maybe that'll come with time. For this assignment as well, I didn't have a lot of usable feedback or feed forward to apply to my practice. And again, that's frustrating, putting that stuff out there and then not having anything usable with that feedback. Assignment number 3, my feed forward. I use a draft provided by someone that I'm working with, but I didn't ask for permission to use it prior to doing the assignment. I asked for permission after the fact, but I really should have done it before. So I did correct that and I made it better between, my conscience and this other person. But, he was fine with it. But yeah, I did it in the wrong order because I was rushing and trying to get this done when I had a moment to actually do the schoolwork around my life and work balance. In the video, I ensured again that I had better lighting and I had less visual clutter in the background, but really I just moved the clutter to someplace else. So it just made an ugly mess somewhere else. So that was a little frustrating. I think if I was doing the videos on a regular basis, I would have some other sort of setup. When I work from home, I just use the blurred background or a AI background that clearly looks like an AI background. So videos and watching videos aren't really my thing when I'm working from home. So it's not really my cup of tea with the videos. For assignment number 3, I only needed 2 takes on this video, which again was in line with the previous assignment, way better than the first assignment. And once my husband had clued in that I was making videos, he had tons of different suggestions of how I can do it in little chunks and stitch it all together. But I really don't have any desire or time to try new tools to make this happen. I just literally want to blast through this course and get my PIDP done with. So it's not really something that interested me, but he was all really excited. He gave me another headset and we tried things out, but I just really want to get this course over and done with. Giving recorded video feedback in this manner is not something that I will be doing in the future. If I am doing video feedback, it will be online via Teams or Zoom, and it'll be interactive so that we can have a discussion instead of me just giving a one-sided style feedback. And personally, I'd rather do feedback in person because even over a video, you're still missing the human element. I have a box of Kleenexes if anybody gets all verklempt, or, I have food in case people are a little bit growly and they need some food, and just being there in person is way better to me. So, having the video feedback and the one-sided isn't really something I'm going to do later on in life. I noticed in my video that I'm a lot more expressive than others when they give their feedback. I also seem to have some sort of a talent of making my voice varied and go up and down and more interesting than some people when I was watching their videos, even while I'm reading the script on the screen here. I thought that was an interesting skill, and I'm not quite certain where I picked it up. I noticed that when I'm reading my notes, I'm a lot better at not saying or ah. So I do normally have notes when I present, so I don't have to invent things off the top of my head. I swear that when I'm presenting in real life, it's like I'm translating things into English, even though English is still technically my very first language. Maybe I speak Amy's in my head, and so I'm always thinking and ah and trying to make that translation happen. So it's still something that I'm working on. They said Toastmasters helps, and maybe I'll try it out in the future. I like to think that in terms of my feedback, it's fairly positive on a regular basis. And I try to give a lot of examples of where someone did something right. And then what I would do, like a little tweak to make a difference for them if they made the same mistakes again in the future. It was actually noted in my PIDP 3220 that my feedback was excellent. And the participants in that class actually wanted to hear my feedback because I noticed a lot of really great things about everybody's delivery of instruction, despite the fact that we were all terribly nervous about presenting. So that's reassuring, I guess. With this assignment number 3, I didn't have any references that I directly drew from, but it is based on years of experience and my collective knowledge on feedback giving. I find it hard to pinpoint where my learning comes from because I read and absorb so much information on a regular basis that I'm constantly learning. So it's really hard for me to break it down that way. At the time of writing this reflection, no one watched or responded to my feedback video, which is really a shame because I thought that there were some really good hints in there for any new instructor that's doing their own lesson plans or their first lesson plans. Again, little to no feedback really doesn't give me a chance to improve my skills, and speaking out into that void with no one really observing doesn't really make me feel great as the creator of this content. I try not to put anything out on the void because I literally don't like that feeling. So final thoughts. I'm going to wrap this up. As an overall recap for this course, I found this course incredibly awkward. It was metricless, and I hate watching videos, and I hate making videos. If I had known in advance that this course was going to be heavy using videos, I would have completely avoided taking this course. I enjoy reading way more than watching videos, and videos without captions put me to sleep. As I mentioned in my pre-course interview with my professor, videos are not my medium. In terms of references, I like having textbooks that I can keep and refer back to as needed. So this course was a challenge, going only to my professor's blog and the videos and the links that were inside the course. I can't take this knowledge and then refer to it at my leisure as easily as I would with a textbook. When I'm done this course, all of those resources are gone unless I download them myself and refer to them that way. And because of the nature of blogs and the fact that they're editable at any time, I don't trust the material on a blog as much as I would in a published textbook. And maybe that's, a carryover from other learning, but yes, I don't trust blogs. It's editable. In terms of new learning, I find that I didn't really touch on anything that I hadn't already learned in a previous adult education course. I've had some really great instructors, so perhaps in their sharing of knowledge, I got like an advanced sneak preview on the content that would be in a course like this one. So I'm really hoping that in my Master's of Adult Education, I can really learn some new concepts that I haven't already touched on because I really do like to learn new stuff. All in all, I slogged through this course, and I'm grateful that it wasn't longer. And although perhaps other students might appreciate this style of course better than I do, I can definitely appreciate the different style as someone trying something differently. And so kudos to the professor and the people that created this particular course. And congratulations to me on finishing this course, and congratulations to you on finally being finished listening to my self-reflection. Have a great one. Thank you very much, and have a good one.